people? It's your girl, Too Blessed. I hope everybody is having a great day. I hope everyone had a great weekend, a great Father's Day weekend. I actually had an awesome weekend this past weekend. I had a bachelorette party, so we turned all the way up and we had so much fun. I'm sitting in my car right now, y'all. Just got off of work, and I'm just sitting here in the AC. It is so hot outside. Okay, here in Cincinnati right now, it is 90 degrees. In Cincinnati, 90 degrees equals like 101 degrees. Okay, because our humidity is just so much. It's like overwhelming. Y'all, it's so hot outside that my lace front don't even want to lace no more. Like, if I lift up this bang, y'all will see just how real it is right now. But that's okay. We're gonna just, I'm gonna just, try to swoop this on to the front, and we're gonna rock with it like that. All right. But anyway, so I have been thinking, y'all, right? I have been thinking because I realized that a lot of people talk to their kids really crazy. And it really just got me thinking, because I'm like, you have to be careful how you talk to your kids and what you say to your kids. You got to be careful because they're taking in everything that you're telling them, everything that you're doing. They're taking all that stuff in. And you got to beware of the power of the tongue. So, for example, it's people who are always saying, you better sit your bad self down, blah, blah, blah. But, they ain't saying bad self. They saying, the other stuff, but I don't cuss like that, y'all, so I ain't gonna say all that, but y'all get where I'm coming from. They'll say, you better sit your bad behind down or whatever, and they're always calling their kids bad. Well, you're always calling your kids bad, and you wonder why your kids are bad. But you're always calling them bad. Do you see what I'm saying? You always calling them bad, but then you turn around and wonder why they're bad. First and foremost, if they wasn't bad before, they bad now because you're always calling them bad, so you're speaking that into their life. You're making them that way. You're making them that way. And I hear people call, kids. I mean, this is now, to me, this is almost worse than calling your kids bad, because it's kind of to me, it's a little abusive when they say, you better sit your little dumb behind down with your dumb self, blah, blah, blah. First and foremost, you shouldn't talk to a child like that anyway. You really shouldn't be talking to anybody like that anyway. But secondly, you call them that with their dumb self, blah, 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 blah. You say all that, and then you wonder why they're not doing well in school. You see what I'm saying? Your tongue holds a lot of power, and I don't think people realize that. You might be saying something out of anger or frustration, but you don't realize that what you're saying, you're really speaking into existence. Especially if you say it all the time. My son, Cameron, my 5-year-old, he can drive me straight up the wall and back sometimes. I never tell him he's bad. And I don't let people say he's bad. When people say he's bad, I say, no, he's not. No, he's not. Don't say that. Because I don't speak that over my child. Now, I might say he's being bad, your behavior is bad, but I won't call him bad. Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all, this bang is a hot mess, but it done fail in everything, y'all. Don't judge it. Just rock with me. I'm trying to get y'all a video. Just rock with me. I'm trying to have a real conversation. But I'll say what he's doing is bad, but I don't call him bad. Like, he'll say, am I bad, mommy? I say, no, you're not bad. What you weren't listening, which is bad. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent. I'm not saying my style of parenting is, the way everyone should go. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is we just have to be careful what we're saying to our kids and how we're treating our kids, because they're taking all of that stuff in, and you speaking certain things over their life and you don't even realize it. Sometimes, even if it doesn't manifest itself when they're kids, it might manifest itself when they're teenagers or adults. When you've called all them times you've called them bad while they were kids, all the times you called them dumb while they were kids. You know, they might not act on that at that particular moment, but it might, when they grow up, it might manifest itself then. You have to be careful what you speak over your kids. You know, certain people think I'm bougie and I'm so uppity and da-da-da-da. No, I just believe in the power of the tongue, and I don't talk about certain things around my kids. I don't say certain things to my kids, and that's just because I just believe in speaking things to life, and I don't want to speak anything like that into existence over my kids. Yeah, they gonna get on your nerves. You know, yeah, they're not gonna listen or whatever, and it's okay to get on them, but just be careful of what you're saying and how you're doing it. Especially if you don't even praise them enough. I know some parents that they don't even praise their kids enough, but they're always getting on them. If that's all your kids is seeing is the negative side, how is that stuff? How are they going to ever build their self-esteem? If the only time you're interacting with them, you getting on them and yelling at them about something, how are they going to build self-esteem? And self-esteem starts at a really young age. People always think that self-esteem starts, when you get to be teenagers and stuff. No, self-esteem starts when your kid is old enough to recognize self. When they're old enough to recognize them as individuals, which they start to realize they're individuals at what, 3-4 years old? I mean, that's when it's, they start realizing I'm a person. I'm separate from mommy. I'm separate from daddy. They start realizing things like that. So if you're never telling them that they're pretty or they're handsome or whatever, how are they going to build their self-esteem? If you don't tell them that they're smart, that they can do anything, how are they going to build their self-esteem? Certain things start from when our kids are really small, and we don't realize it. We don't realize it until it's too late. If y'all get what I'm saying. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place, but I don't have a whole bunch of time to really dig in like how I want to with this topic, but I just wanted to come on before I forgot about it. But things start when our kids are really small. Don't wait until your child is 12 and 13 to start talking to them about self-esteem, or start calling them beautiful, or start telling them they're so smart, or that they can do anything. By that time, they've already heard everybody else, and they've already developed some type of self-esteem about themselves, whether good or bad. So that's a little late for you to jump in and try to fix whatever the issue is at that particular, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, people don't understand. Some people don't understand the power that you have over your kids, even just by speaking. Some people think that just because they take care of their kids and that, they make sure that their kids are okay, that makes them good parents. No, that means that you're fulfilling the responsibility that you signed up for when you decide to have a baby. That's all that is to me. And people think that they deserve some type of an award for being a good parent. How do you deserve an award for being a good parent, for taking care of your responsibility? I feel like I'm a good parent, but I don't think that anybody owes me anything for being a good parent. That was my decision to become a parent. So it's up to me to, y'all see this lace is trying to come up. My bad, y'all. So it's up to me to make sure that child is okay. Me and the father. Me and my husband. So, I mean, I think as parents, we have to do better, especially now since times are just changing so much and this world is getting crazier and crazier. We have to do a better job of teaching our kids, of loving on our kids, and being an example for our kids. We can't tell them to do one thing and then we go out here and do something else. You know what I mean? Like, we just have to be very careful of what we're doing. Our kids is watching everything, and our kids are hearing everything. Now, granted, you're gonna have moments. Everybody has moments. You know, I have moments and everything like that. I done had moments and I said something to Cameron that I feel like I shouldn't have said, and I had to go back and apologize to him and really explain, you know, what I meant. And I don't apologize for getting on him. I just apologize for the way I said it. You know, I tell him, like, I'm not sorry for saying what I said. I'm sorry for the way I said it. And I explained to him what I really meant, or whatever. But I'm not perfect. You know, to each his own. But I'm just thinking that, you know, we all, I don't care who you are, we all need to watch what we say to our kids, our young men. Especially, like, I hate when mothers talk bad about a child's father to the child, especially a young boy, because if all they're hearing is how horrible their dad is, and they are a young man themselves, what are you teaching them about what a man is? If that's all that they're seeing and hearing. That's how horrible their dad is. And at the end of the day, you chose their dad. So to me, that's just as much your fault as it is the dad's fault. You chose it. And I ain't saying that the dad is, you know, is excused by any means, but you chose him. And I know sometimes guys, you know, you be with a guy and then everything gets all hunky-dory until, you know, the baby come and they totally flip the script. I understand that, because that could have been any of us. That could have been anybody. But yet it's still, we chose them. So we're still responsible. It's just things I be thinking about. Like, my father wasn't in my life. My father was not in my life. He was not in my life. But my mom, she never down talked my dad to me. It was times when my daddy told me that he was coming to get me, and my mom knew that he wasn't going to come and get me. But she never told me that. She would just sort of let things play out, if that makes sense. Like, she never would say, your daddy ain't this, your daddy ain't this, your daddy ain't that. I was just able to see for myself. She let me see for myself what type of father I had, if that makes sense. She didn't influence me and try to, you know, put things in my head about him. She just let me see. And really, that was enough, because what I learned hurt my feelings enough. I didn't need anything extra from her to add on to it about my dad. You know, if I asked a question, she answered it, but otherwise, I didn't have to hear a whole bunch of craziness about him. So that's just something to think about. And that's just something I've been thinking about. So hopefully somebody can take something away from what I've said, and maybe just think, you know, a little bit more about the way we're speaking to our kids and the way we're treating our kids. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Remember that you are perfectly imperfect. Stay cool. Stay out of this heat, y'all. And if y'all have to be outside, make sure you stay hydrated, because this is that type of heat to where you will pass out and be out on somebody's sidewalk. Okay, just laying there, gone. Okay, but anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. All right, love y'all. Mwah. Bye, y'all.